Good evening, everybody. How is everyone doing today? Alright, it is sunset, 9:02 p.m. 8:02 p.m. on Standard Time. Sunrise today. So where is sunrise today? 5:30 a.m. 4:30 a.m. on Standard Time. We're going off to see the fireworks again. Oh. This is the third live stream I've done in a while, so we might drop connection here. But yeah. The very big question mark will be that we have Bobrovsky in Toronto. Yeah. What my team? Yeah, just with me. Basically, my thing recalculating itself. You know. Yeah, my house is definitely a boundary with the Wi-Fi, so we may be doing things a little different here, and we might be having to stop at the footbridge, and then we get the out. Yeah, out of here because yeah, because we haven't done this in many years. We haven't done this over here because I actually yeah this and then the Christmas stream later in 2026 in November for the Pickering parade. Same with Toronto. It may I don't really get a shot. Yeah, yeah. That's gonna depend on Toronto and where we end up for them because if they gonna live more family. Yeah. Today is also the NHL free agency day. So I mean Toronto, I think we don't want to be that's gonna be a very big, if we have to, then my dad's gonna be luckily and there is a sign to me that I don't think we need to obey it because we want to be out of there like as fast as possible and get ourselves out of there as fast as possible. But the last time, we don't, yeah, we actually don't do it with the people on the stream anymore. Hi, Mohammed.
Hi, Dylan. How are you? How are you, Dylan?
Mohammed?
Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Dylan?
We haven't had this in a long time with Toronto. And what I want to say, this has been looking like to me the first time where I actually feel like we're starting to see a return of meaning back to the city of Toronto for the first time. And that maybe things are starting to look like that this is the best that I've seen the league. Yeah, since the 2022 loss season. And when three, yeah. If it hadn't been for the FIFA World Cup, and that's the FIFA 2026 World Cup, Toronto would be first FIFA World Cup. while we're wondering, are we going to see it in that footbridge area? My dad would kind of have to learn our lessons from previous years. And we always go into that area in Millennium Square, and we go into that area where the footbridge is. And this is where we usually do the stream, but we might be looking at a bit of a because there needs to be a recognition that because we can no longer get into that area anymore, we need to be looking at a new area for viewing. Yeah, technically we could view off the that way. We can go into the boardwalk, and I actually want to show you guys the new boardwalk from last year. Last year they ended up putting a new boardwalk. In fact, there needs to be a bit of a recognition that we do need to recognize that when we did this a year ago, and when we did this over the last couple of years, this is our fourth annual yep, head of the day fireworks stream. We did this the last 4 years. We did it in 2023, 2024, 2025, and now in 2026. And that's why we start the stream here. Is that we want to be home. I think with this year, we're going to be learning our lessons from the last few years. Normally, we would have gone out to that little inlet area and got a view out that way. But I'm sure, and we would walk with the crowds and stuff. I think we want to get ahead of it, and be out fast, and be home faster, Yeah, we've had a problem with being in that area in the past. We're gonna go into Millennium Square, and we're gonna go up to that area where the boardwalk is, and we do it there this year. And that's normally the area we go into, but we may have an issue with that. Just even though my mom and dad would say, yeah, we got hit with a big windstorm. So we have to be noteworthy that we can't be doing that anymore. Right? We need to recognize that things need to change, and that everything has changed. And we need to recognize that normally we see the fireworks from on that boardwalk. The boardwalk area is actually a better spot if you want to see the thing. And you have my vantage point is much higher up, and we did the new boardwalk last year. And now I want to see what it looks like. Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. We had a really bad windstorm coming in. Yeah. We had a really bad windstorm earlier. Yeah. Hi, Mohammed.
Hi, Dylan. How are you?
Mohammed?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Happy 4th of July.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a bad stuff. I have a bad news for you.
We might not be doing that this year. this year. This is my first one on my new phone. Yeah,
Dylan,
my new phone.
Dylan,
Yeah.
I have a bad news for you.
And so the last year I did this. So the last year I did this was in 2019.
Dylan,
Was in
Dylan.
yeah. Mohammed, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Mohammed.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Dylan, Dylan.
Do I have do I have sound coming out?
Dylan.
Yeah, I don't know if I have the sound coming out of here. So
Dylan, can you hear me, bro? Can you hear me?
yeah, this is a newer phone. I have realized, and
Hi, Dylan.
Muhammad, I realized I don't have my old phone had to be replaced,
For
and
what? For
it
what?
had to be immersed. Now it pays immersed contact only. Yeah,
For what?
and we haven't done very many live streams on this phone this
I know.
year.
I have a bad news for you.
This year, yeah, we
Dylan.
had to kind of pull back from that.
Dylan.
Yeah.
Can you can you hear me?
Well, have a nice day, Muhammad. Happy end of the day.
You too. Enjoy your firework.
I'll see you later.
Get I have a bad I have a you want you know oh yeah. I have a bad news for
Yeah,
you,
I'm
Dylan.
wondering if I.
You wanna see
Yeah.
something, Dylan? Look what happened to me.
Okay.
Look at my leg.
Oh, oh, man.
It's broke.
I
My knee
haven't. You haven't shown that to me yet.
my knee broke. My knee broken.
Yeah. It's been
Yeah,
quite a while since I've done this, so
it's broken. They might. They
yeah.
said. They said might to have
We.
sur. They said might to have surgery. Bye, Dylan. ويا ربي.
Yeah, I have speakerphone now activated. Okay, I have my phone on default. I have it on speaker. Yeah. So I have it on speakerphone. So now right here, a reminder, today sunset is 9:02 p.m. Sunrise is 5:38 a.m. So I have my phone on speaker. I have my phone on my speaker. I think I lost my trick. There we go. Now we're on speakerphone. Yes, now we're on speakerphone now. So the last time we did a stream like this was in I were streaming a lot earlier. Hi, Mohammed.
Hi, Dylan.
Uh,
How are you?
yeah, I miss telling people that we're going to see the fireworks this year.
Who are you going to?
Yeah,
Who's
and
going? Who's going watching fireworks?
I'm wondering.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh wow, Muhammad broke his leg.
Broken knee.
Yeah, like I didn't even know that you
Yeah.
broken it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's broken in a half. It's broken.
how
Huh?
they're so sad.
It's broken. Yeah, it's broken. Dylan, why didn't you? Yeah, Alexis was saying
I
hi to
haven't
you.
done a test run on
Alex,
this, so
Dylan, Alexis was saying hi to you.
since I
Dylan, Dylan, Rano. Oh my, wait.
well, Muhammad, if yeah, I have to let you go now. I hope. Yeah, it's nice that you have told me that. It's been a while since we talked.
Yeah, I called you many times. You didn't ever
So,
answer.
Muhammad,
What?
I'm gonna have to let you go now. I'm getting ready to go see the fireworks, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your night.
You too. Bye.
Yeah. All right. See you later.
Bye bye, Dylan, Rano. Wait.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're gonna need to get the audio thing worked out. Yeah. So the last year, uh, having left behind really about 3 years ago, that building is new, and that building actually, the difference is that notice the difference in the Pickering skyline and how it's changing and how it used to look like. And so basically what the population used to look like, there's a second frame now, right there. Yeah, and we're seeing actually a new building going up there. Yeah, that traffic light there is per 10. Yeah. Uh, Run. The last. Maybe we need to get you on your gimbal. I haven't thought about the gimbal, but yeah, that's the one thing that's different from last year is how tall the building is. That's how tall that building is. And, and we know we're doing the annual head of the day live stream, which I told some people. Yeah, that's my annual head of this was my fourth annual head of the day fireworks live stream. And this year, we're either going to park along the bridge, or we would go to the area that we went into the last few years, and we might be looking at learning our lessons from this because we may have made a really huge mistake in sitting in that area because my dad might want to be out. But I think really like we have to be for Clippers, and we maybe want to be trying to get ahead of the crowd. Just I mean, kind of all. Yeah, we haven't gotten a very good view of it. The last year I went to the end of the day fireworks, and I actually got a newer phone this year for the end of the day live stream. So when we decide we're gonna do Toronto, Pickering, and it was great next year, and I do want to see head of the day on head of the day on head of the day head of the, I do a stream on head of the day. So this is a 4-1. We're walking on the west, east, north, south. Uh, where they from near the South San Diego waterfall. So the problem will be is can we get to that area that we've been the last few years? Because we're actually wondering if this year was a bus, we'll probably have to do it next year. Because I have plans for Canada's Day every year, and we do this every year on Canada Day. And this is my 4th year doing this. I did this 22, 23, and now 24. I did it in 23, 24, 25. We won't have the large crowd. We do a live stream there. The last year I did was we did this was last year, and we did the same room. We go down there, stream, and then head back home, and then head back home. And something we haven't done is the very first and then they live stream, and I'm going to Yak. Just weeks ago. First half of the year, we're talking that we're now halfway through the year. So what are we before 2026? It actually like feels more in line with what I think this year feels more in line with like we're kind of mirroring 2023 is that what I think this year is beginning to replicate kind of a mirror for of 2023 is a strong parallel, and what we're looking at a very if we have to, then yeah, we're gonna be resigned. I'm like, yeah, and if it continues this way, and I think we're looking at that possibility here, and I think we're kind of resigned to the fact that we're not going to be able to. Because we might not be asking for it this year. If we're ever not, my dad might just stop with the hey, glass over there. this year. We want to have like just imagine the people in the third street in the apartment probably get a good look at the fireworks in the balcony. Yeah, we haven't done this, in my opinion, in years. We did this last year, and we did this in 20. We did this in 24, and we did this in 23. But unlike past year, if we were able to do it, what's the difference from that is, one difference is that unlike last year, which is different from now, the point is that next week and next year, when we do this again, we're going to be, it'll be the fifth annual event. It'll be the fifth Canada Day fireworks. We walk down there, do the fireworks, and then walk home. And walk home, stream, and stream, leaving the house. And we're going all the way until nightfall. And this is what we do yearly. Well, like, the very big question is next summer is going to come down to is what happens next year. We're in for a really good Canada Day. I think we're kind of on a bit of a make or break with 2026, and we've actually had a very, very good year in the first half. But we're wondering now if we won't have Kendall, or not Kendall, when we won't have Mrs. Williams around, it's a little bit like half a year start. But really, we've had quite a strong year start to parallel with 2023, where we're not as active as previous years. The difference is now that we have the rugby team on our side, on my side this year, on my side, that we're not done with SEC for the foreseeable future. And that's it. Likely my last. Yeah. Actually, very good thing if we did this. Actually, it was a very good thing. We did not sign up for Yak last week. Because because we do this roughly around this time, and then July 6th, we're going to be at Yak for Yak.town, and for Yak for 6 weeks this summer, beginning next Monday, beginning 5 days from now, and going all the way until September 4th. And we're going for 6 weeks, and it will be very similar to what of a few differences that some at this time around is that I'm supposed to maybe a slight differ because of Got Talent. Because of the active talent we had to move a week. So, and for the moment, outside that, this is the same week as 2020, as we did back in 2020, the last 2020, which was the COVID summer, which was the COVID summer. Yeah, the closest for the number of weeks that I came is 2020, in 2020 when I went for almost the same week, with the exception that we went week 7 in 2020. I think the time has been pretty, yeah, that counts, because I signed up for that week. Yeah, I also signed up that week. We're doing this. Yeah, yeah, sure, we can do it. Yeah, because the last time we went to down here was back almost about a year ago. People remember very early, earlier this year, even going back to last year, earlier this year and last year, if people may recall, because Mohammed and I are very, very close friends. It was not that long ago because it was not that long ago for me, but it definitely was not that long ago that me and Reek, yeah, me. So we've seen a bit of a shift in my life expectation because we might be confined to that area there. So the only way would have to be through that boardwalk area. And we've had quite a bad water heater, maybe very similar to much like 2019. We've had kind of a bad water level year this year on Lake Ontario, and we had quite a big snowpack this year. I think we're in for a strong first half of the year. I mean, with this, especially the front half of summer. Because we've had quite a strong first half of 2025 because 2026 because it was not that long ago. Because for me, it was not that long ago that my time at times seems very well been. Has that changed now? And so has Dylan Reynolds weakened in the recent years? In recent years? In the last few years? Yeah, and one thing I think it's for certain is that we've seen a bit of a shift towards the Atlantic. And we've seen a bit of a shift. And this is, again, this is a more competitive. But we've seen a bit of a shift. Not in with my. Yeah. What did I say? However, we've seen definitely a shift in the last few months. I feel Reynolds Is it fair to say that this year's maybe as a student at Pine Ridge is behind us now? Fair. So, Venus, is it fair to say is that if it has its observing window closed? This year, one thing is clear to me, and we need to be honest here. Oh, that it's that it looks like we're transitioning because it was not that long ago. For me, it definitely was not that long ago. Because it was not that long ago that Dylan Reynolds from Pioneers seemed to be the strongest, student, to be the best, and to be that I was essentially running the SEC, but said to be on the SEC team with students. And and Holton seemed to be weaker. Black White House Hayden seems to be weaker in Hayden. Has that changed now? Because and that's one of the reasons why I'm believing that we're seeing maybe this shift now is because I'm getting old, so and the reason we're seeing the shift now is because Holton's aged out, and so we've seen definitely a bit of a shift. So the youth shift now is has it fair to say that the dominant is just not as strong as it once was in recent years? One thing is clear. One of the big reasons we see we could boost the numbers if we hit numbers next year. I maybe give the numbers a little more of a boost. Because, because we've seen a bit of a shift in the recent years, and it was not that long ago that me and everybody for that year has that changed now. And I think we can now look at the last few years, and we have in the last few times that we have a really big sample size. It has shifted away from being not that many campers, and now the younger kids are taking over, and the older guys are moving on. I think we're still that. I think we're just arriving. One of the big reasons why we started this crew on time. And we're all getting kind of hyped. Do we just park the bridge or do we park this still? Yeah, because I want to take a look at Steiners. And it was not that long ago, so at the back, my time at the SEC team still fitting, but that's still very recent because it's after we've seen with this season, we're definitely looking like we're starting to swing back toward the metro throughout the course of maybe the next few years into the 2030s. We should start to see it taking back the dominance. But also another thing is expansion has also became a question of whether or not these divisions might be either going to dissolve the divisions, the Atlantic, Metro, never in darkness. And we might be losing how many years we've been as a student board because it was not that long ago. It doesn't feel that long ago for me. Is who had why this year kind of feels a bit more top heavy than it was last. Now that we've seen the shift out of the Metro comparing this year and compared to early in the year, seeing the team because the Metro had fallen off and it ended up being by far we think that this trend probably will continue and maybe in fact get a little more stronger. That maybe the strongest since maybe 0304, since 0304 maybe. The last time the Atlantic was dominant like this was back in 0304. In 0304. Which is the last time the Atlantic was stronger than the Metro and significantly stronger was back in 2003, 2004. And I think we're probably going to start seeing more like 2000 territory. And now it's like the division is moving to a more top heavy. We kind of saw the shift towards the Metro dating back to 2020. One of the big reasons we're seeing that now this year is because one of the big reasons we're seeing this shift now and why the Atlantic has is that now the Atlantic division is not as strong as it used to be, but it's definitely not as strong as it once was.
Feel it, Dylan. It feels a bit cooler now.
Yeah. Yeah, the last time was back in 2021. Uh, this is the highest the this is actually been we might have to we might be part one of the reasons we're seeing that change now is that the Metro the reason why we're seeing this well it's definitely good for head of the day is generally the most busy busiest time for businesses. Where Yeah. So we're kind of gonna be a bit. We usually walk towards the boardwalk area. Like in years past, when we find a spot. We had. Well, there's Venus. Yeah, you get a way clearer view of it down here. Probably showing up in the hub. Breaking out of the hub. Yeah, we up there. We got. And I can't move. Yeah, I think we're going to be off.
Yeah, good pictures of the fireworks over there.
That's Osprey Bay. Yeah.
I guess it probably is. Well, we can stay here and watch. Look, we got lots of time.
Oh no, we want
Why are
to.
you dragging me this way?
We go into that little area right there, that little emerald.
You absolutely. See, look, we can stop right here. Look, we got a perfect view.
Oh no,
Look at.
boardwalk.
Why do we have to go to the boardwalk?
Boardwalk has a better view.
No, it doesn't. This is the perfect view. We can see everything.
And I,
You player. See, right here. Stop right here.
oh no, boardwalk view. Uh, we were here last year. Hold on, over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, time we were here last year, these lights weren't working. The lights on here on the boardwalk were not good, were not working. I was like, let's see. Yeah, feel good. Yeah,
Oh, this is easy. We done this, haven't we?
yeah.
No sign at all of the former playground.
Yeah, right here. We're right in that little area where we parked in the past. And that's where I think where we. Yeah. Got me in.
50 minutes after that. We've been live streaming all the way.
Live streaming all the way. I'll put you guys in the bus. Yeah, they're hackers too. I think maybe a little bit south. Then it's right in that little area where the oh wait, other from the area used to work. I know how you feel about this firework. Yeah, I think that's Ashford Bay down that way. Yeah, there's Ashford Bay going off. Yeah, there's the Toronto skyline right there. I think we're gonna go off it. I'm gonna leave that way. You know, when we start to get fire going off. $10. Last year. Yeah. Remember how everybody prepares for Yeah. Vertical better for yeah. Why is there not early? There's planet Venus. Venus? Beautiful evening planet in the evening sky. And it's very observable this time of year, but like you need to have like a clear horizon. So we are getting close to the retrograde in October. Venus goes stated retrograde in October of this year. October of this year. An 8-year repetition of a one back in 2018. Yes. Had to record. So we are definitely using the camera face. Facing the camera in that direction. That way. You see that. Right. We're running a little bit behind. Yeah, we're running behind. When we start getting the fireworks going off here. Why I want to keep staring in that direction there. There's Asher's Bay. We have fireworks going off all over Toronto. We're gonna get fireworks here in Toronto this hour. So we're waiting for that. Hopefully the camera goes off for that. But yeah, I see. Oh. I'm getting it scary. Yeah, I ended up doing it early last time. Yeah, I'm telling you. God, lights have gone out. Oh, we just lost lights over there. No lights down there now. I think we're about to get started. Yeah, Dad, I think they're gonna get started soon. The lights are down out there. Anything is not going off yet. Yeah. They're running late. Okay, so hey, we haven't had fireworks tonight. Maybe a plus. Maybe a plus. Oh, John. We got smoke. We got smoke. We got smoke. 10:07 p.m. A lot of expertise in fireworks. Nintendo are doing here. Oh, I think we're running. I wonder if they're having it. Yeah, that's over in the city.
I don't know how they basically so tall.
Oh yeah. Tell her back. I think I had looking in that direction when it started. I don't think the audio. I actually recommend you see it. What is it? Nice away fast. I have three of them. I had. Yeah, they can start at 10 after.
That's the first halfway through the video I've ever gotten a firework.
Yeah. And I get a little light.
I like that.
Is my favorite.
Oh, geez, I got a good picture
Yes.
here.
Yeah.
Yes.
I actually, I would have actually wanted to come to me. Next year we were going to do it. Yeah. That would have been fun if we were.
Is anybody watching?
No, but it's a really good fireworks display, and
Nobody's watching your live stream.
yeah. Yeah, whatever. I do something called an annual live. Yeah. Happy Canada Day.
Happy Canada Day.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Canada. Is it? Nice. Yes.
Yellow Mark. I did annual.
Yes.
Huh. The backwards. Yeah. This is Pyro Mark. This is called Pyro. Well, we're yet closer to the end. The video. Another wave of fireworks is coming. Anyone? Hurry up there. Yeah, well, we had a team. I think it's 10 after 10. Huh. Yeah. Yeah. Half? Your yours. Oh, wow. Huh. Whoa.
That's cool.
That was. Yeah.
After getting up to the grand finale now.
Wait, what?
The grand finale.
We're leading up to it or building up to it?
Same thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Building up. No,
Cool.
where the. Yeah.
So nice.
Last year. We didn't do it either 2014 or 2015. I didn't see it. That's a fair point of it. See, that's what the window is. It has retrograde We had the anniversary at the beginning of October. Yeah, the September, early October. Yeah, the stock has higher than used to early in the year. Uh, that's neat. Whoa, whoa. Uh, uh, yeah. All right, let's. Yeah, starting. Uh, uh, whoa! That is that. Oh wow! Like, Kendall, what do you think about the fireworks this year? I I enjoy. This line's pretty for you. Yeah, that it? Yeah, 20 minutes. Yeah, the lights have turned on down there. Now let's go. Happy New Year. Well, and it's also a half a new year.
Almost. More money.
Yeah. like in leap years. Uh, uh, Beautiful. Uh,
We struggle home people.
yeah. Do we think we run right through it and then we? It's Adele. Yeah. Yeah. I imagine when they get started with the fireworks going. Yeah. There's the planet Venus. Hey, look, that's head of the. I guess Venus in the evening sky. That is head of the star.
Why would it be Canada's star?
Yeah, this happens to be Venus. Yeah, is
It's for everybody.
the Venus star, and that is the head of the day star for 2026. It's an 8-year repetition of the one from 2018, 18, and 2010, and 2022. That's to get music here compared to the UK. We're not.
Don't pray. Don't.
Uh,
Let's go, Scott.
yeah, yeah. I put my computer to sleep, so I'm gonna have to shut it down. Yeah, compare that. Over the back. Yeah, I'm. Yeah, we have Yeah. Yeah, and it is also a pedestrian mall. And also, at the end of the day, this is the most busiest day of the year for the waterfront.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
And this is by far a pedestrian mall. Everybody loves to enjoy the fireworks. Uh, Cassie? No. What? What did you have to do? What were you doing? Moving? We got you. Let's see. I actually have a plate.
That's what you like.
Yeah. After, yeah, pretty much, man, I was the only one left of my people left. That's an illusion. I want to say next. Uh, yeah, what's it? Well, we did it with you. That's good. Yeah, we have a crowd in our way. Yeah, let's break away. Let's break away. Break. Let's break away. That's what you call a breakaway in hockey.
Or soccer.
Yeah. The last time we were here, so early in the both people don't know, back in January of 2026, what happened to me for most, I guess we could do like a mid-year recap. We started the year with going, with signing up and doing that. I think ever doing it in January to have January. Became full circle. They brought back. Does that know? Two people brought. Yeah. To make it more. How to be John Jacob more freakish is what kind of makes Jacob and Sunday so freaky. Scott Dean, he, he, he's trying to reunite or having to reunite Rocky and Thor, not back for the first time. And that would be the survey of Rocky and Andrew Raycroft when they ended up with. And this is an Wolfhander, in my opinion, Matt Sundin. That Matt. Yeah. I'm talking Matt. Matt. He uprooted his life. I mean, yeah, he moved his whole family here. I think if you ever wanted to do Olympic meet, you know who I'm gonna bring? We mission? Hockey. Back? Yeah, you know, I watch. Yeah,
Notice it's uphill all the way.
yeah. Wrong.
Pretty.
You.
Stinky.
And I am a Toronto fan this year. Toronto got out of the way. Who's your favorite team? That keeps going. Why did Mom say?
Mom's home now. I was at the Walmart in Asia. We are walking up Liverpool.
I think we broke away from. I think we broke away from the crowd. We're gonna do this reasonably. It's all driving to the west. And what did Mom say?
See you soon. I love you. See you soon. Okay.
That shook it round.
Sure, they gave me a fright.
But it shook it round. I felt it.
Yeah.
Certainly felt it. Fireworks show in downtown Hondoville.
Yeah, it's definitely not as cool up here.
It was like 25. Oh, it's one Dylan. Oh, in the art in Illinois. And from Jack, from years of being off, he came back. Matt, I see who won that while people were up.
Well, I think the Americans managed to beat Bosnia 2-0, even though one of their players got a red card. They were playing one man short, and they still managed to win.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Oh,
I picked the Americans in my bracket, of course. So I was kind of hoping for a surprise.
Well, I'm going for Canada. I did not go for any of it. I went for Canada. I went for Canada. You know, now I didn't go for any of the contenders to win the World Cup. I went for Canada to win it.
Uh, well, most people pick France.
France, maybe. France is my second pick team. Or- You okay, Dad?
God damn sidewalks.
Yeah.
That was good recovery. Good recovery.
Oh, I just hit the spot where the sidewalk is.
I was just saying, I thought that's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways.
I went. I can go to that clip. Yeah, I went and I edited it. Yeah, I. I'm at, yeah. You gotta be very careful because it is dark.
Yeah, I know.
That's why I say most to the right. Yeah. Oh, myself. Yeah, I'm gonna edit that out really quick. The thing is, edit it. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? That's the one thing we need to recognize that you can't see where you're going. When it's dark, you can't. Yeah, when it's dark, especially you can't see where you're. Yeah, yeah, but it's dark. But it's dark.
Yeah. Humpty Dumpty didn't really have a great summer, but he certainly had a great fall.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna find that clip and I took that clip out. Yeah, I actually edited that clip out. Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe another thing I'm gonna have to edit. And then put a quick thing and edit it out and edit that clip out. Yeah. Yeah, good thing yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, that's another thing at night. It says you can't see very well.
Yeah, I know. To try to get past people and then make a bad stepping down.
Yeah, I can't see very well. Yeah.
Tonight's not a garbage night because everything is pushed ahead by a day. So we'll have our garbage day on Friday.
Good thing I have a good. That's probably the second accident today. The car. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's right. You nearly got hit.
Yeah.
That's some guy who just couldn't wait.
Foreshadowing the car. Yeah, you couldn't see very well. Yeah, the problem is that when you get old, when you're getting older, the good thing I don't have glasses. The good thing I have good seeing. Yeah, actually, good thing I got good seeing. Yeah, that's why I say. Yeah, that is why I say it's slow down. Yeah, slow down. You usually pay attention to where you're stepping.
Yeah.
But I always make sure I'm fully careful. I do look down, especially in the forest. I always have to look down, see where I'm stepping, and I guess we need to be very careful, especially in the forest. Careful up there, especially careful. careful, especially if I'm walking in that store. I don't know if that was
ساعة ولا أكثر من ذلك. ساعة خلص معي. أكل شرب. أكل شيء. أنا
And I can't see. Alright, I can't see the ground. Well, I ran onto the crash of somebody's property. My leg went down. You couldn't even control it. Actually, good thing I landed because I actually gotta be very, very careful. Careful. In the daytime, okay, but at night, in the daytime, okay, but at night, it can actually be a little bit more dangerous. Yeah, you were going. That's why it made me kind of wonder how the toenail got wrecked. Probably from toenail fungus, but probably a tree trunk. Probably tripping on tree trunks. I think it was just tree trunks I was tripping on everything. I think I managed to break my nail. Or I think I managed to how I almost broke it. Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing is you're getting. Yeah, if my mom and dad are getting older, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do this by myself. And how eventually I'm gonna have to go by myself. Eventually I'm gonna have to go by myself because I'm getting too my dad and my mom are getting too old. We'll eventually get too old. Too old. Really. Oh. Yeah. And I almost like that. I got paid close attention because especially in the forest, always pay attention to your surroundings before you walk. Because can we walk through here? I would not condone doing it because I would trip and fall. Trip and fall. And I had a tripping hazard. That thing is a tripping hazard. It's also a tripping. So, yeah. Yeah, so think back to last year and the last couple of years. I'm not going to show everybody it, but the last year shoot I did, I think it happened again last year. We gotta be very careful of it, but yeah, eventually we're gonna have to do this alone. Eventually, there's gonna come a day when you're. Yeah, I think. Yeah, but eventually I'm gonna have to do this alone. Eventually, once you and mom are too old to do a lot of these activities.
Yeah, well, that's gonna be a while.
It's gonna be quite a while for that to happen, but like eventually we're gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to do this by myself.
Yeah.
So we don't know. Actually, a good thing if I have to say is don't rush. One last time is don't rush and just keep going with your pace, regardless of the people. Find somewhere. You always want to make sure go slowly. Don't give up. You are with the. You can even go across the bridge. We can even go across the main bridge if we wanted to. We can go across. Yeah. Although we can also, yeah, we can also go. We can even go across the footbridge, so we're not walking into traffic. You can even go walking across the wanted to. Well, yeah, I'm even taking the most direct way home, but that adds a few extra minutes. But, you know, I gotta be a little bit careful. But the last time I went there, I have very big traffic. So, yeah, there's that condo building getting built, and that one's not there. And this is Pickering. Yeah. So there's the pedestrian bridge, the longest bridge in the world. And normally when we get to here, I forgot about that. So how was the first half of the year? Yeah. But when we are, yeah. 2022 so far. I've had a lot of good things happen to me this year. Far more greater than I thought. Far more greater than maybe I initially thought going into this year. Going into it. I honestly was thinking we were at the end of this era before. We were kind of, yeah, we were kind of taking a little bit of time of the rental era coming to an end before. But kind of like every single thing, everything that's going on for us for the past year, we definitely over achieved with this year. So, so, yeah. So, yeah, yeah. So, what was, so with today being July 1st, yeah, yeah, so we're going to just have to, so, I mean, at this area we say, we are officially, so, with today being July 1st, we are now officially halfway in the year, halfway into 2026. So, what were your New Year's resolutions in January that you guys have made, and what were you guys doing on January 1st, 2026, and what were your New Year's resolutions for 2026? And this year, New Year's resolution, my initial plan for 2026, and we were initially thinking like this was. We did yak at the start of the year and again at March break, and then we ended up with a lot of busyness throughout much of the first half of the year. So the first half of the year has actually been the best we've had. Best first half we've had since 2023, and the first since then, since when I last time read. Still on first. Now,
We should have hustled, I suppose.
yeah. So how did you guys couldn't see the where the driveway was?
Let's see, there was a drop off at the side of the curb instead of a solid grass. I put pushed it over the edge of the
Yeah, you have to. Well, yeah, yeah. So what happened last year? Well, yeah, that's what happened is yes, how things was in full. Routes can also be a bit of a tricky hazard. Yeah, we know that the first half of this year had definitely shown. If you were to look back at January and compare to where we are now, the 1st of January 2026 to the 1st of July, certainly the weather's a lot warmer now, and certainly that. But we're definitely, even though this year has generally been better than the past, we're still nowhere near where we were back in 2022, back in 2023. And when we're definitely, this has been by far, and I think it's going to be 2022 levels at this point if we keep trending up like where we've been. And this year has definitely shown that we're more better now and notice be happy with general around. And I told my great usually what happened with that was, yeah, I did not know how strong the first half of the year we had in quite a long time because Bobrovsky is definitely looking like to me that he is past, that he is definitely past his age. Yeah, the power's out down there. Yeah, Dad, the power's out down there.
Oh yeah, the lights, the parking lot lights are off.
Yeah, the parking lot lights are off. And there are no lights on in Good Life.
Cut it down, saves power.
I think there was definitely, yeah. You think back to the start of this year, I did not think if I told you that 2026 would be one of the best, would probably be one of my best years of my life, this was completely different. I would say I would be very crazy, but at this point, yeah, craziness in my life, but at this stage in my life, this has been one of the best years this has been definitely the best year we've had in a little while. Because 2022 to me was by far the best year of my life, but 2023 definitely has. But yeah, the first half of 2023 was actually very, very good. But the second half of the year, after summer, pretty much right after the summer, it kind of everything dropped off. Pretty much everything dropped off once we got to about September of 2023. I was in the work program for that time. And then 2024, it was 20. So when I first did this in 2023, I would have just graduated from Pine Ridge. And then when I did it in 2024, I finished the year in the transition from the work program. And man, oh man, that was a difficult year. Man, oh man, that was a difficult year. And in 2025 last year, we were kind of getting ready to go off to Nova Scotia for the summer. We improved a bit under this year. This is the last trip we've done for the first half of the year. It's in the bag pocket. It's in the bag pocket. Yeah, it's in the bag might have caught you. I wonder if the bag might have caught you.
No. No, it was just a bad step.
Bad step. Or my,
I did a good boy and stayed on the coming down.
yeah. So,
Look at everybody trying to get it.
yeah. It's been a few years since I've actually had a really good, a really good year. Because after leaving, yeah, the power's out down there. Yeah, the power's out down there. Down the block. Yeah, that apartment building. Yeah. The light of the apartment. There was a big. I mean, that could explain why our power flickered. The checked it. Last year, I'd say last year, when I went to Yak in 2023, or like, if we have not had a really good year like this since 2023, yeah, a lot of us would say it's been a long time because I have especially that really good first half of the year. The second half of 2023, outside of that summer, once we got past like August, and I think this year is likely to parallel it. That's how I think this year was kind of looking at being closer to, and I think 2026, and I think this is why I think I'm comparing 2026 to the most. Is that why I'm comparing 2026 to the most? Is that why I'm comparing 2026 to the most? To the most. Because the summer was actually good. Good. But like, once we got into like September and the last half of the year, the last couple months of the year, things sort of dropped off from the very good couple months, and then things kind of dropped off again, and then we did, and then I think things sort of bounced back, and then we had like a brief blip, and we had a little blip at the end of the year, and we had a little blip at the end of the year, and when we did Yak at Christmas, but like in 2023, and we haven't been really at that same level since then, at least until we got to 2026. And I'm wondering if we're going to maintain it this time around, because one reason that this year actually got back to the level was because Nyla came to my life, then of course it was like not, and it just simply went up and up from there. You guys came to my life, and that was just up and up from there. And how much the Kendall factor the two there may have been causing that big explosion. And I think that's how things really got to be known, especially on the rugby team, on the rugby side. And that again is different from last year. And again, that's different from the last few years. So we have not been in a state like that since the early 2000s. and back into steroid state like this since the early 2020s and back into the late 2010s. Because we had to play off of the bedtime because it is after 11 o'clock now, and we're going home because the last time we were in a position where the Toronto Maple Leafs were going to miss. And how did you feel? Maybe that was, even though 2023 they had Carter Bedard, Toronto ended up getting Carter Bedard. The Chicago drafted him. There. Technically qualify for the playoffs given the hockey culture we have here. How do you feel about the first half of 2023 comparing to? And I think that I think 2023 is kind of the closest year that I'm looking at 2026 compare 2026 to, is because 2026, and I think that's the year I'm kind of comparing 2026 to the most, because the first half of the year I was having definitely one of the best times of my life with the SEC team and stuff. Of course, everything sort of been different this time around. But when we got to 2020, but now in 2026, it was just really from like February, January. And what we had, I think, is good. And we definitely had a few, like 2025 was actually a good year, but not the best year. But like we had 2025, but then things really got going when we got to 2026. When we got to 2025, and then I think after especially the second half of the year, it really got kind of good. And then at the end of the year, the end of 2025 was when I ended up going back to Yak. And when I ended up going back to Yak at the end of 2025, and that's why it's carried us into 2026. And that's why what carried us into 2026. 2026. And this is, I don't think all that drama and stuff, that kind of looks like it's behind me now. I think we're going to be in for a better summer than 2023, like the last time. So back in 2023, the last time I started this. Yeah, look. Yeah, look, gunpowder. Yeah, Dad, look down there. No, not the smoke, down that way.
Lights on.
No, the power's out down there.
Right over there?
Yeah.
I see lights.
No, you see the lights in the park, but do you see that wonder? Am I just going crazy or am I just going crazy? Am I just going? That's fine. Nope. Yeah, if the power out, then let me see. If I'm just going crazy, I could probably see the window sign. There are no lights down there. That could explain why the power went out earlier. Where? Hi, where? There are no lights. I want to see what happened. There are no there. Yeah. 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 There are no lights at the school. Like that when even this. Yeah. There are no lights at the school. But I don't see the I can't even see the sign on either. Maybe they just turned it off. No, but I think we have no power down there. There is no power down there. Down there. That could explain why the lights are out down there. And I wonder if yeah. I don't know if I see like anything past those street lights down there. It's dark. Or definitely. Because normally there would be lights on. Yeah, because normally there would be lights there. I'm actually gonna check the app right there. I'm gonna check the app. I'm gonna check the app. I think we could explain why our power flickered earlier. I think we have an answer for why our power flickered earlier. I noticed. I actually noticed. I noticed that the light route that there was power outage in the light road. We have power down now. So I want to add on something really quick. Am I just going crazy? Or I'm actually gonna check the site because I'm gonna hop off and I'm gonna go check the site, see if we actually have an outage that's active. Because I think it probably was from the storm that we had earlier tonight. There is no power down there. I think it's probably because of the storm that we had earlier tonight. Now because of that big windstorm we saw earlier tonight. So being that it's probably set now. I think there was a little power outage in the area by Winrow. I have a little chocolate sample. A chocolate. And I saw a light. So I'm actually gonna check. And when we turn off the stream, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check the outage map. Check the outage map before I head upstairs. I want to check the outage map. See, we actually have an active outage because that's not normal. And what I saw was not normal, and it's not normally dark out like that. Even the Lenro sign. Even the Lenro sign. Had even the Lenro sign was dark. It was apparently there was a power outage. Yeah, apparently there was a power outage. I checked the outage map, and there was a power outage in the Lenro area. I walked by. That was something I saw. You guys saw I'm gonna help it black windproof would. Be okay, maybe there was a bit of a flicker. I think I'm trying to wait a bit. No. Alright guys, we're gonna hop off now and hope everyone has a wonderful day. Okay? And I am arriving home.
Bye, everybody.
Yep. So have a nice day. Enjoy your night. Until we are going to bed. I'm also gonna check the situation with the power, so alright, see you guys later. Bye bye everybody.